Fella.
My man.
How we doing, buddy?
Back at it,
Look
bro.
at that
Back at
tarp.
it.
Is that?
I know. I felt.
No, it's just gorgeous.
It's one of the mornings, Tuesday mornings, I like to look in the closet and pick out a nice tea to come. And yeah, I didn't have many clean ones.
I felt like that bear Saturday at Rothschild's. That's how I was feeling. Right, fucking.
And the one that was hibernating Sunday when you came over for Beckham's birthday.
Buddy, I was all the Flowers, shout out to Flowers, hadn't seen him in a while. So we went to Rothschild's, met up with you guys. Frankie, thanks again for letting me stay longer than I was welcomed. But I woke up Sunday, I don't even know what time.
Yeah.
I couldn't really sleep, so I woke up to watch the games. And the Flowers, I jumped in my pool, and the look on Flowers' face up, dog, he was just like he got hit by a truck. The boys, we overdid it.
Yeah, it was good to see our boy back in town.
Those fucking white chompers he's got.
Yeah, they look better in person, right?
I gotta admit, as much as it kills me to say, they do look better in person. You've been sticking up for them, the entire time about, how they look. I'm like, listen, I tell you what, when I see him in a picture, I don't see his nose anymore. I just see those fucking shiny white teeth. But the guy did a good job. He went from a 6 to a 6.5.
Yeah. He's still going to have to rely on his personality, isn't he? It's funny, though, the pictures, he pulls the lips back a bit. And he gets when he smiles, it's a different look.
I asked him, I said,
is it more like a confidence thing now? I wonder. He doesn't have those two fangs coming down from the.
Was his teeth that bad before? I don't remember. I remember, you're hard on dental care though. Like my teeth are horrendous. And there's been times over the years where you've been like, it would help your smell. Those have got this, that. Were his teeth that bad?
His jibs weren't perfect, but they were, I guess if we scale it 1 to 10, they were probably like 4.5, 5. And just but he didn't have they weren't that bad, but he didn't have the confidence to really smile. Like he wasn't like getting compliments on his jibs, if that makes sense.
So it matched the rest of his body.
It matches his barrel.
That's what I was going to say.
No, he's got a 7.5 barrel out of 10.
That baby's bought and paid.
Yeah, bought and paid for barrel.
Hey, I want to say the studio. Maxie, good to see you, buddy. You get some time off, fellas? You get a little time to recuperate or what?
Yeah, I did a little road trip last week, so back here ready to roll, though.
Where'd you go, bud?
I went up north.
Nice.
Cruise, Big Sur, did some camping.
You did it, like the tent and the nice stars.
I didn't even bring a tent. I just slept in a hammock.
Nice. Yeah. Really?
10 miles in the backcountry and slept in a hammock next to the river.
Nothing over top you?
No.
What if it rained?
Well, yeah.
I looked at the forecast. It was September.
Oh, nice. I got it. Yeah, it's California, right?
That was a risk we were willing to take.
Yeah.
What if he shot you in the face? So you and your girl sleep in a hammock, or was it just?
It was just me.
Oh, a little boys trip.
Good for you. Mushrooms or?
No mushies.
That's what you needed.
I needed it, but it was quite a trek back there, and 10 miles back, and I just needed to
talk about clearing your mind. Just yourself.
Just myself. There were some hot springs back there. So I had my morning coffee in the hot springs with the redwoods around next to a river. So as far from all this technology and shit as I could get.
That's I think what I need.
You need more than that.
That's a remedy I think I could add to the Rolodex.
We're going to talk about this guy in a sec, but you might need the Aaron Rodgers darkness. Yeah. You might just need a full fucking darkness retreat.
I could use it. Fuck. The things that are piling up on my desk, let's say.
I know, but listen, this is why we created this little thing.
This little adventure?
That's starting to bleed us dry, but this little Missin Curfew. This is your sanctuary, boy. This is where you can come in here.
I find peace in here.
Forget about it.
The peace and happiness looking across at you fucking jolly bastard, laughing at me.
Forget about the Amex bill. Forget about the, my Amex bill the last 2 months, boys. I'll tell you what, you're in one when they're emailing you, hey, just checking, but your Amex is unusually high.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's low any other month. So I'm like, fuck, what?
It just adds up, eh?
And then you go look through it, right?
I don't even know what this birthday cost me the other day either.
I only had one I walked in your house so hungover. I'm like, you're like, you all right? You want anything? I'm like, just make me as stiff as vodka soda splash OJ you can just to get me back to neutral here. And then you look through, the worst is you go back and look through the Amex, right? You see how much it is. You're like, it can't be that much.
Yeah. There's $40 here, $35, $140.
$300.
Took care of that bill, $350.
5 pairs of Jordans, fucking $1,500.
Are you buying lots of shoes online?
I bought like 3 or 4. No, I went into that store. If you're looking for a good pair of kicks in Newport Beach, paired up in Fashion Island.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's clip that. Maybe you get a deal on that 20% off.
These new ones here.
What about online? Why don't you?
Fucking nasty.
tell the boys where to get them online. Those are actually really nice. I got the Travis Scotts on it.
Do you know how much the Travis Scotts are if you go into just a shoe store and get them?
2,500?
Something like that, yeah. 2,300.
I got these won the lottery. These are these aren't my Travis. Yeah, they are.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they authentic or those are right off the fucking turnip truck, boys. Don't let them kid you with those. Those are right
turnip, no potato truck. Oh, these are sick.
I mean, the studio's looking good. I wanted to thank you for the 2 bags. Wow, those look great, buddy. Great job.
Thanks to TaylorMade for that. Our boy Casey, who we golfed with the other day.
Yeah.
What a beauty. He's hitting his driver well, stealth too. But listen, those bags are so fucking juice. And thanks to our friends up the street who it's called Threads. They put the threads on them. So Missin Curfew bags, 1 of 1 each.
Yeah, good job. It looks good in here. It's good to be back. We're getting close to the hockey season up, dog. But let's go first of all. Our boy Ryan Getzlaf, 12th year cure du chien. For anyone out there, for the fellas out there that don't know what this is, and I've been going for years, but it's basically a muscle disorder, like an ALS for only boys that can get it, young boys that can get it. Getzlaf's Chairty has raised in the 11 years heading into this year, $5.3 million. I went down to the dinner on the Friday night with PJ and Getsy and sat beside Gibby, and I had a good chuckle with Gibby. I sat down and he was I said, "What's up, buddy? How the Steelers going to be this and that?" And then I go, "Are you getting fucking traded or what? You've been getting traded for 3 years." He's like, "I know." He's like, I'm not going to say who he let have it, but who he let have it in the media world, I want to say it so bad. I'm not going to because I respect Gibby.
It's a media guy.
But this media guy's a fucking
I
tool.
can only imagine.
But I had a good laugh with Gibby. Sam Carrick was there. Adam Henrik was there. But, I mean, what they've done, Paige and Getsy.
Yep.
It used to be a death sentence for these kids where they come in, they say, "Listen, there's nothing we can do," and send them home. Now they got this little, FDA approved. FDA, that's right? Yeah.
Yeah, FDA approved, yeah.
If you get it before you're 6 years old, basically until you get into your, mid-teens to 20s, you're basically good to go. But there's still a lot of work to be done. But good for Getsy, good for Paige. It was amazing. I was blown away with how much they've made it a national thing now. Like, yeah. It's a national thing.
And it's, listen, it happens to most boys, but
only boys can get it.
And it's usually in a wheelchair by 12, 15,000 boys in the U.S. Are living with Duchenne, and then 300,000 worldwide. So you're right. But what they've been done, the support they get from the locals here, from all the businesses that do it, from all the guys who come back early, for training camp. I know that was never something you used to like to do, come early for training camp. No. But these guys all come and support Getsy, and now 2 years apart from the game, Getzlaf's still coming back and doing this.
I know.
It means a lot, and I know his family comes and enjoys the weekend here. Great golf course too.
It was in good shape.
Yeah. No, they do a great job on a golf tournament.
Better than Big Canyon's.
How was the pace of play?
Horrendous.
Why is that?
I'm not going to take the bait here, but nice try.
No, but hey, at these golf tournaments, it's for the kids, but we pick up the pace of play.
Listen, there was this one ex-NHL guy that I don't even know his name. I don't know if he played. Maybe played more games than me. If he did, I don't know. But he was taking his time on every tee box and just putting on an absolute show.
Was he chatting up the beer girls?
Which is fine, but I mean, it's just come on, man. Right?
A little class.
The group is already on the green in front of you.
Yeah.
And it's not like they would, were great golfers sitting in front of us. I don't know. It just, we couldn't play the last 2 holes because the boys had to get to, shout out to Gunnar Gehl, who opened up for Gwen, Stefani. Yeah. So, Gunnar looked amazing. You were there. Maybe you want to touch on that.
Yeah, no, we left. It was something. Listen, Gwen Stefani, for those who may not know, if you're listening, I'd love
it's bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A
on Sunday morning.
It's bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-Yes.
Listen, I loved her since I was a kid. No doubt was badass, right? So that brings me back. Never seen her in concert before.
Music, though.
Yeah, well, listen, she's a local Anaheim girl. She's sold out the most sold out shows at the Honda Center. And by the way, the Honda, it's not a perfect arena. It's old.
You're hard on the Honda Center.
I am 30 years old now.
You're hard on it.
It's a hard area of town. Okay. A lot of concrete over there.
Yeah, you're hard on
Not much greenery. Where parking sucks.
In a perfect world, where do you put a new barn? Down in Irvine?
I like it in Irvine. Yeah. Spectrum. Maybe ask Jaffe if he's got a little room over there at the Great Park where their practice arena is. Anyway, she reached out to Gunnar's party and to Adam Levine. So Gunnar Gehl, for those of you who don't know,
Check him out.
Our buddy's kid. He's a stud, surfer, great kid, great flow, loves hockey. Born in Newport Beach, and he went on tour with Maroon 5 this summer, Europe, killed it, and came back. And I think Gwen reached out to Adam Levine and said, "Listen, that stud that had that opened for you guys all Europe. I'm playing in Anaheim. I know he's from here. I need an opening act. Hit him up on Wednesday." And he got his band together for Saturday night and put this together. Jeff, his old man, who's a beauty, took care of all of us. Probably 30 of us went to the show. He flew back from New York City. It was just a great night. So shout out to our boy Gunnar Gehl. We're gonna have him in studio at some point.
I didn't know that he had that short a notice.
Yeah, it was. He got a call Wednesday.
Wow, good for him.
Put her together. So it was a pretty special night for him. He threw the 30. I think he wore number 33 Gehl Ducks jersey on the back.
Yeah, he did throw it on.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
I think it's maybe time the Ducks think about. You want to do arena? I think maybe it's time for a new jersey. Maybe go back to the old.
What that green?
The old symbol. I don't know.
Green with the orange?
I don't know if you go back to the eggplant teal or not, but I don't know. I know they've had some good reverse retro jerseys the last couple of years.
Yep.
I don't know. The Honda Center's not perfect. You're right.
It's just old, right?
There's nothing they can really do about it.
I mean, it's California. A lot of tax money down here.
You're not lying.
Find some somewhere.
I would say to Getzey, like, I can see why it's hard for him now after being there this weekend. Like, he's moved to Nashville with his family and loving it there, but how it's probably hard for him to take his name off of it. But I mean, I think it's also time that maybe some of these young guys, Troy Terry's got a nice new 8-year ticket.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on, but Zegras doesn't have a contract, so maybe it's not him. But I think it's time for maybe one of these young guys, and Troy Terry to me sits out that maybe could jump in and maybe Getzey still comes back or whatever and does the weekend, but someone else's name could maybe be on it. But I can see why Getzey's still attached to it because it was really emotional and it was a really cool couple days.
Yeah, if it doesn't bother Getzey to come back all the time, I think this is a way for him to still connect with the city and always be part of it. And it's something, and the Getzlaf and friends, right? So I think anyone can step up and take it over. But if not, I think Getzey's more than happy to just keep his name on it and continue to do great charitable stuff.
Yeah.
It was great.
Getzey's kids, man, you talk about his three boys are just Ryder's a beauty. I mean, Ryder's ready for...
Maybe Ryder just turns into the Ryder Getzlaf tournament.
Kid's a beauty. He's like... That's what he asked him. Somebody asked him about his little brothers. He's like, "Yeah, I own them, or something like that." That's great. So, but he had the three boys with him. It was unbelievable. And one thing about Getz is, I get it. It's the Ducks' 30-year anniversary this year, but other than that, what are we waiting for here to get 15 in the rafters? Now, do you want to just focus everything this year around the 30th anniversary? Then that's fine. I get it. All right. And next year, I believe Getzlaf's eligible for the Hall of Fame. So maybe they're waiting for that. I hope that's the reason. But I'm surprised that there hasn't been some kind of announcement. But that's what it's got to be, though. It's right. They're just waiting this year's the 30-year anniversary of your favorite arena, the Honda Center, and the Ducks. Next year they do it. But I'm surprised it hasn't been announced already.
What not better season to do it in? The 30-year anniversary. Let's celebrate the 30-year anniversary with our captain in the rafters, Ryan Getzlaf, who's been their longest acting captain since they've been around, right? It's a no-brainer.
I know.
Let's go. Who makes the choice on that? Who's the president?
I don't know.
El Presidente.
Well,
listen, either way, the Samuelis, who own the team, they should just step up and say, we're going to throw a big night for Ryan and his family. He's definitely retired now. Guy hasn't worked out in a year and a half. Still hits bombs, though. Golf game's good.
This golf game's tight. I think in typical Ducks fashion, they don't want to squeeze everything they got here, so
they got 41 home games.
I know,
squeeze a little bit in there. I guarantee there's going to be some open seats. There's going to be one night they could probably squeeze it in against maybe the Calgary Flames, maybe a team that he played his junior hockey in Calgary.
Yeah, I just want to go and see that. I'm selfishly, he deserves it. Obviously, it is going to happen, but I don't know. I'm shocked that it hasn't been announced yet. So I think the 30-year anniversary has something to do with it. Maybe I'll text Loomis and see what he's saying about it.
Yeah.
To Getzey and Paige, the whole Getzlaf family, it's unbelievable. Check it out. Cure Duchenne. NFL football up, Doc.
Oh, week 1.
Fantasy football is back. Larry Bettman, once again, is the commissioner of our league. It's makes me feel good to say I took him down week 1.
You did.
Flowers.
Good.
Under to 70.
Good.
Did you get a win your first year? Do you want to make a trade? Talk to me about your team. How you feeling? You got 2 big-time quarterbacks. Maybe let's talk about your strategy on that.
I do have 2 big-time quarterbacks who actually had big-time boozy games.
Burrow was in one.
Josh Allen was in one too. My goodness.
Yeah, he was turning.
I'm still shocked. I showed up here. I showed up here Tuesday morning. I'm so shocked. You're
having a tough Tuesday morning, aren't you, fella?
Just the football. Like the Sunday nighter. Whoa.
Where are you here?
I was on the wrong side of the Sunday nighter.
You won.
No, I didn't take the Cowboys.
No, but
the Giants.
You
yeah. Let's talk about this for a second. Listen, I played Chairty. Chairty had the second overall pick. I had the first overall pick. I took Jefferson, and this guy went off for 20. My team's stacked. I got a great squad. Jones, Green Bay. I got Derrick Henry, who we talked about maybe trading, you and me.
No, it steals off the table.
San Fran wide receiver Ayuk. I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
Ayuk.
He's a stud.
I took Deebo Samuel because I thought he was their number one receiver. He's not, because that fucking guy is, however he says that.
I know. He's
nasty.
Ayuk was like one of the most impressive receivers in the league on Sunday.
Purdy is he's just a big green target for him. I love it. So listen, I beat Chairty right off the hop. Chairty chirped me for picking 2 quarterbacks in my first 5 rounds. He's like, Aaron Rodgers, you can grab Aaron Rodgers next too, he said. So I'm like, I don't need 3, Chairty. But that was a big win week 1. You?
It's nice to get, but yeah. I mean, I had 100 points. I think the only guy I would have beat was Flowers. So I'm glad I got him. But to beat Flowers in general, he thinks he's the best NFL fantasy football guy ever, right? Like he thinks he could be an NFL GM. Like if you ask him deep down, Flowers, you give me the GM that Eagles, you say 100%, we win a Super Bowl.
I get Flowers next week.
Pump him.
This is so great. Just love
Pump him.
It's so great. So talk about your squad for a sec. Tell me who you got. Who you like?
Listen, you know what, yeah. Max, you've heard me talk about my struggles in fantasy, right? I haven't been very good over the course of my whole time. So I went in with a game plan. I said, no matter what pick, if Patrick Mahomes is available, my first pick, I'm taking him. I had the 3rd overall pick.
You took him.
Now, some might say that's a little high, right? Some might say that's a little high.
Boys are laughing back here.
Now, I also had a game plan that I was taking Patty Mahomes my first pick, and I thought there was a chance I could get Kelsey in the second round.
That's
Mackel took Kelsey. So my point being is I had a plan to take a tight end with my second pick. And my second pick is versus my first pick. I took George Kittle with my second pick. He had 3 points.
You took another tight end.
I took
Kittle. Took a quarterback then a tight end?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a unique philosophy. Yeah. But I mean, it could come back to pay off.
I'm a little thin on receiver, if you want me to be honest with you. I got good running backs. I got
people pick with their
picks. I got Jacobs, I got Hall, I got Cook from the Jets as my running backs. But my receivers are a little thin.
Can I ask you what happened maybe to Goddard and Philly on the weekend? He had no points.
I mean, listen, you just Bill Belichick.
Oh, that's
Tom Brady day, raining in New England. I'm going to Flowers over to your house, and I'm like, are you a little worried about this game? And he's like, no, we're not. They're not even going to get a touchdown. I'm like, okay, well, are you worried about their defense? No, Jalen Hurts. I mean, listen, Belichick had a good scheme for them. Yeah. Hurts hadn't played. Week one of the NFL is it's a crapshoot. I mean, these guys don't play, they don't practice. I mean, their training camp. I mean, they do practice. Don't get me wrong, but they don't play. You know what it's like. No matter what you do, it's nothing like getting out there and having to play a 60-minute NHL game. Same for these boys.
Anything stood out for week 1 to you other than what happened last night?
Yeah, I gotta go right there, I think, buddy. I mean, listen, I got 2 of the Jets running backs, like I just said, but I think everybody. I was listening to some, Get Up this morning. What's the guy's name on Get Up who's a huge Jets fan? The host.
Steven.
No, Mike Greenberg.
Mike Greenberg. This guy, buddy, he was crushed. Like he's been a Jets fan forever.
That's so fucking
Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers comes running out. Listen, obviously, September 11th yesterday, we never forget that. I thought yesterday on social media it was great. So many people posting stuff. It was awesome. They showed, Manhattan with the 2 lights coming up and Rodgers coming out with the American flag and everything. And I'm like sitting on my couch being like, holy shit, man, this fucking, I'm Canadian, but USA, baby.
I know.
And then boom, down he goes. It just sucked. If you're a football fan, it just sucked.
Yeah,
it sucks.
It's if you're an NFL fan, it's you just watch horror in the making. I was looking forward to that game. I was out on a boat. I was dialed this TV in the middle of the ocean.
Still on the boat for the fucking Monday Nighter?
Oh yeah, I was out there until 8 p.m. But we'll get into that. But it was heartbreaking. It's the story.
It was
driven like heartbreak. It was crazy. And then to not know, and then to speculate, is it his Achilles? It's like wild stuff. Peyton and Eli, both out there saying, God, this is just something you should tape up and get back out there. And when he didn't do that, that's when you're like, fuck, this could be bad. By the way, are we ever going to change this turf? I know like that was the topic of conversation last night with all these players chirping the NFL for the turf. Like the Eagles have real fucking grass.
The NFL should not be played on turf.
You have these 30, 40, $50 million athletes out there getting tackled on this turf. Yeah.
My girlfriend used to work for a turf manufacturer. They've sold to a couple NFL facilities. They buy the cheapest turf. They don't even buy like the highest end turf that's available.
I probably put better turf in my backyard last week.
Well, yeah, I would say, yeah. We know you're not cutting corners on that kind of stuff, eh?
No, but seriously, this is I agree, real thing. Like, this is sad.
When I heard they're buying the cheapest turf too, I was like, this is ridiculous.
That's on Roger Goodell. We don't need
maybe a little class action. Maybe your girl might have to hit the stand.
Another thing about that turf is these little. You see these little
black pebbles.
Little black pebbles. Anytime Allen got hit or whatever, it's all over his face. If I was like, dude, first of all, that's a bad look. I don't want this. And second of all, what if it gets in his eye? Or, I mean, come on, man. I'm with you. Like, why doesn't it just have real grass and old men?
That's like, that's having no Zambonis in NHL games. Some of that ice was bad back in the day.
Yeah,
but
I didn't mind when she got a little mucky out there.
Now it's performance based. Like these guys I think they're dealing with good ice, right?
You'd like to think it's better. I don't know.
Are the boys ever complaining about the ice like we used to? No, right? We used to be like in the media. Like,
yeah.
Like this is, I think at one point in
these
Phoenix,
guys are skating so fast.
I said one time in Phoenix after a game that I've had better ice out of a 7-Eleven Slurpee machine to like the media, and I got called in. Don Maloney called me in the next day. He's like, you cannot say that about our ice. And I'm like, I can't lie.
You know what, Don? I just did.
I did. I apologize right now, but like, you got to fix the ice. This is on us. We can't have this ice like this.
No, I mean, the only place...
Remember we used to have to vote 0 to 5? Like they grab two guys after a game and be like, rate the ice 0 to 5. You had to circle it. It's like 0.
Yeah. Well,
it was ice.
Honda said it was terrible ice. When I started my career, I went from Anaheim to Tampa. They were both horrendous. Like even Tampa's ice sucked.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you asked me who had good ice in the league when I was in there, I would say Edmonton, Mini, Chicago,
yeah,
Montreal, Toronto, obviously all the North teams, but Staples,
Detroit,
no.
Great ice.
Right? Staples, not great ice. Glendale, where you're saying not great ice. Shark Tank, not great ice.
Yeah, but they figured it out. I think, like literally, Florida has good ice now. They played into June last year, and it was never really talked about. Like how, geez, we can't play out here. The ice is too bad. It's too much humidity.
That's true. There's never been guys complaining about this.
Yeah, Vegas. I mean, fucking 110. We can't even walk from the casino to the rink last year without sweating, and these guys are out there playing on ice.
Well, remember the All-Star game when we went down right down to ice level before the boys came over for the skills comp?
Like,
we even said, wow, this ice looks good.
Yeah.
Right? And it used to be just a slop fest in there. Sloppy Joe was
not just after the game.
Rodgers, man, think about all the free time he's going to have in New York City.
This is what I worry about now with this, like, right?
On a bender or what?
I mean,
that's what I would do.
But how hard is it to like properly rehab in New York City? You're jumping in Ubers, jumping in cabs. You got to walk everywhere.
Not him.
It's not perfect.
He's going to have a tow car waiting to pick him up at his house, drop him off.
You think he's staying in New York?
No, he's probably going to go rehab it. Where's the best? You might know this. Where's the best?
You know what?
Miami?
If I was to guess right now, he'd go see this guy in Philadelphia. A guy that Landy went to see for his knee.
I guess, by the way, Landy is on a fucking... Yeah. Their GM... Did I say it to you the other day? Their GM said he's ahead of schedule. Like, he's out for the regular season, but he basically said, like...
Yeah. I'll tell you why he is, because he's not listening to, like, the typical, Colorado Avalanche trainer to do his rehab. He went off, and this guy's name is Bob Knowles. His last name's Knowles, I know that, but he does this pool rehab, and it's every day, and you are crushing yourself inside a pool. Your whole workout's in the pool. And I think this is going to be something Aaron Rodgers probably does.
Like I say, up dog, you got to get in the pool, brother.
I know.
Get in the pool.
You're right.
I mean,
flexibility on your shoulders.
Do you think he's done?
No, I don't think he's done.
He's not going to go like this, right?
No, he's not. But that's why I want to. He's going to be challenged living in New York City with this rehab, and I only know that from experience. If you're in a good place like this, I mean...
Listen, Aaron, if I had advice, I would say don't worry about the first month. Just fucking drown your sorrows. All right, buddy? Get out there in the West Village. Go to Due West. Get banged up, and then, worry about
I know. I want to say he should enjoy it, but like the first month is like he's gonna have surgery immediately.
Probably already tomorrow or something.
Yeah, because that thing where it popped. Like I watched ESPN Instagram today. Where that popped was like up in his calf.
That's why I thought it might have been maybe not his Achilles, but because you could see it. It was literally.
Oh, it popped, but you could see it fly through his calf muscle. Like that's how quick those things go up.
Yeah.
So that'll be pulled down and tied back to his heel bone today or tomorrow. You're right, and then. That first month, man, is so important to like rest and to like. So I hope he gets back on track.
I'm not saying I don't really think he's going to go on a bender. I'm just saying, fuck, maybe. You know.
I mean, as an athlete, as a guy that dealt with injuries, man, it fucking sucks.
But I'm saying like where we are now in 2023 with Achilles 20 years ago at 40 years old. Okay, you're probably done. But I think now you mentioned Landy. He's ahead of schedule. A lot of stuff in the pool. I think Rodgers. With his drive and desire, will come back and he'll play next year for the Jets. I hope. I don't think he's just going to be done. I mean, he's done.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah. You don't need to run, and that's why like he didn't need to get out of that. He knew he was sacked. He should have just hit the deck. Okay.
I mean, there was. Listen, I watched Hard Knocks. Obviously Rodgers hurt his calf in OTAs in the summertime.
He did.
Yeah, he already had the same calf.
That's it.
He was dealing with it.
That's it.
But their offensive line, in general, is concerning. So if you're like the GM of the fucking Jets and you go get Aaron Rodgers, I know you got all kinds of weapons around him, but
that was his blind side too. That's the one. Line, man. That's your player on the team that you pay the most money for is your blind side O-line, and the guy just blew right past him.
I guess he feels awful. What was his name? Brown, I think, or something. I guess he was like after the game, he was like, in tears. He felt awful, like he let the boys down. But my last little highlight of the NFL first week one is Pat McAfee on ESPN. It was great watching their first show. Like, they're trying not to swear, right? We're trying not to swear, boys. We're trying to keep it clean. They had Peyton Manning. Rodgers came on. Adam Schefter came on. We talk about how NHL National League, our studio is. Their studio is sick, man. Yeah. And I was thinking about you because he stands up. He likes to stand.
Sitting down sucks sometimes. We got these nice chairs now. Thanks, Getzlaf, for this.
But I'm like, Pat McAfee on ESPN. I love it. I wish he could throw the F-bombs like he used to, but I don't know.
He still brings the excitement. By the way, the call at the Horns game when he had Matthew McConaughey and they were in the end zone was so epic. Did you see that?
I missed that.
Oh, it was great.
I got worked on that game.
He was in the end zone with the mic, talking with Matthew McConaughey, who's obviously
be a whole lot cooler if you did.
And the ball got thrown from like the 30 or 40 yard line into the corner of the end zone when they were, and the guy caught it, and they just went buck diddy, and they were on air at the time, and it's a cool moment. What a game. Texas, Alabama.
Not if you had Alabama.
I didn't touch it.
I had a money line. I had them both ways. -7 and money line. I go, so Texas is going to go in here and beat Alabama week 2, huh?
That's what's going on. It was in Texas.
No, it wasn't.
Was it not?
Fucking Alabama.
Oh.
Right. They went right into, where is it?
Was it?
Tuscaloosa.
Oh, wow. I thought, oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So they were in enemy territory. McConaughey was just going buck diddy in enemy territory. I love that.
I'll tell you one thing about McAfee, too, is he doesn't miss arm day. That fucking guy, I know he wears his tankers, but his fucking...
Let's start fucking working out and getting ripped. Huh?
I'm not ever going to do a curl again the rest of my life. But, I think it's great for football. Uppy, it's kind of what we've tried to build here at Missin Curfew. I'm not comparing us to his show. We're nowhere near it, but kind of raw with his boys sitting in there on ESPN. I love it.
Ethan Hawke, he's good too, right? Ethan Hawke, he's the actor.
AJ Hawke comes. Ethan
Jesus,
Hawke. He was just in Toronto at Gerges' restaurant. I don't know. Was it the film festival this in September?
Yeah, it's TIFF usually first week in September. Yeah,
he was in Gerges' restaurant. But football's back up, dog. That's a good little intro there. 29 minutes. We'll be right back. Fella. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Uppy's World.
Oh, man.
Party time. Excellent. All right, I'm going
to... We haven't been in studio in a while, so let's start.
I'll tell you where we start.
Okay.
Right with that fucking nice T-shirt you got on right
Yeah,
there.
baby.
We start with... We've talked about Red Rocks a lot here, but if you haven't been to Red Rocks and your band's going in there, get there. Up Dog, My Morning Jacket, fella. I mean, wow.
What a time. How many of a My Morning Jacket kind of backers have we... together, you and me?
We did Chicago.
We did the Wiltern.
We did the Wiltern 3 in a row.
Chi-Town.
Chicago 2 in a row.
Yeah. And then we did My Morning Jacket at Red Rocks. This was twice.
So
that's 4.
Back.
I mean, God.
And then Bonnaroo.
Yeah, but
it was a back-to-back.
Yeah, but that's it. That's 4 times where they come in, no repeats. One thing about this shirt is that, it was their 20-year anniversary of their album, It Still Moves. And for anyone out there, very hard to listen to My Morning Jacket as a band on their albums. But if you were to choose one and you wanted to get like the history of them, this album, 20 years now, this year, It Still Moves is probably their best. They've got old school bangers. It's got like bluesy, it's got fucking some folk to it, and then it's got psychedelic jams.
Oh,
I think it's great. It's a great album to start with.
When he played Victory Dance on the first night, it was just me and you, and the whole fucking place was just a full-on dance party. I'm like, Uppy, look at this. Everyone's just like, dying. It was unbelievable. If we're going to touch on Aspen too, if we weren't going right into Aspen for to go in and see the Lumineers and hang out there, I would have followed My Morning Jacket. I went and followed.
Well, we would have had to go back to LA because they played Hollywood Bowl.
I know. Going back.
I got him San Diego the night after our last pod in the studio, Pico. Then I went the back-to-backers with you.
Yeah.
And now they're going East Coast. They're going Chi-Town, 3 shows. They're going New York, Beacon Theater, 3 shows.
I'm going to go to probably 2 or 3 of those shows at the Beacon.
Yeah.
It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I believe, right?
Yeah. 19th and 21st.
Yeah. I'm going to be there.
You are, eh?
I am.
Bellator.
I am.
Here we go.
I am going to be there. I mean, it was unbelievable. Red Rocks in general is awesome.
Yep.
If you haven't seen My Morning Jacket live, like Dog said, check it out. And then a little place called Aspen. I got to give some love to our boy Evan Knapp.
Yep.
He's been offering his Aspen place to me for years now. And after I found out I was going to Red Rocks with you, I'm like, Beauty, I'm going to take you up, but I'm going to use your place for a week if that's cool. Lets me have it. Has a sick little golf cart you're buzzing around. I got a taste of the 1 percentile. Listen, if you can be on the Evan Knapp program, Aspen's the place you want to be.
Yeah.
If you're on the Shane O'Brien program, it's not perfect, but I mean, what a spot when you have that set up.
Yeah, you were full on Uncle Obie, by the way.
Yeah,
so this Uppy's world, it was a full on Uncle Obie's world. Because we rode our bikes out to Woody Creek Tavern, legendary old spot, probably like a 15-mile ride out.
Great ride.
Little electric bikes. Izzy was in the back. Great lunch there. A couple good breakfast spots. We buzzing around. A couple good dinners.
I mean, listen, it's a great little spot. If you're the 1 percentile that can afford to fucking live there like that, it's unbelievable.
What else was a highlight there?
The Lumineers were unbelievable.
Yeah.
The Lumineers were so good. After seeing My Morning Jacket the weekend before, it was tough shoes to fill, but I love those guys. Shout out to Mac Miller. I brought her she's a huge Lumineers fan. First time she saw them. So we were kind of sitting in the back, and I was like, they came out, and I was like, fuck this. She needs to feel this. So I grabbed her and excuse me. And I remember at one time I was just going buck diddy up, dog, right? On one of the songs, and this old guy was like, and he kind of like looked at me. I'm like, sorry, fella, it's the Lumineers, but it's, I'm not going to stop dancing. So just keep your head on a swivel.
And then shout out to our friends Sheldon and Katie Walitsky, who had us over for a little lunch before the show. Incredible place. Did the tomahawks from our friends at Cow Steaks. KOW Steaks, by the way. Those things are badass. Those 3 tomahawks. We did the 4 lobsters. Mac L was in the kitchen just humming these lobster tails. Did a great job.
Is that not a kid's playground? Are you fucking kidding me, by the way?
It's very special.
His kid was
ice rink in the back.
His kid was doing 360 spins off the trampoline into the pool with the water slide in behind. I'm like, this is like...
Yeah. Vaughn's a stud. And by the way, let's just lead into the Walitsky family onto this boat day I have last night. I go fishing. Jeff,
I can't believe you went on that fucking.
Yeah, Jeff Frieden, friend of Big Guy's, took us out on his 90-foot Viking, and we go way past Catalina, way past San Clemente Island. We're 70 fucking miles off the coast. We left at 7:00. Like I said, I watched the Monday Nighter on the boat. Beautiful boat. And we did this kite fishing, which was sick. You fly this fucking kite, 150 yards up in the sky. And when something bites on it and you see the thing start doing this, and then you just... So they gave me...
You couldn't see land at all, right?
No, land. Wow. God, no. I was halfway to Thailand, bro. I was way out there. Jesus. I could have went to Hawaii.
How was the water?
Water was nice. I didn't jump in, but it was nice. It got rocky for a while. But nice boat. An incredible boat. Anyway, I probably wrestled this fucking 180-pound bluefin for maybe 20 minutes, full battle. It was getting...
That was your big boy.
It was in the corners, I was coming out of this corner with the puck, put it that way. And got that one on, and at the same time I was going, Big Guy gets a bite.
Did you yell fish on when you got her? Fish on!
They handed me this rod. I just went to town, pulled this baby up. It was pretty special seeing this like full on prehistoric fucking fish on the boat. Like, and it took us a while to get her down. It was not, when it was on the boat, it was fucking flopping around.
So then I bet
it was mad.
So you get it on the boat, you take the sick pic that you and PJ had, and then where do you toss her? Right on ice, or do you cut her up right there? What happens after you, like, okay, you did it, you took your picture. Now reality sets in. What the fuck do I do with this?
You got to drain the blood out of it.
Drain the blood out of it.
Yeah, that takes a while. Yeah, you stick the thing and it's, you know,
and it's
you got to cut around the gills. No, not in the arse, up kind of top of the head.
Okay. Oh.
And then you drain the blood out of the corner and you keep washing like the boat and get all the blood
smelling?
It still smells like the sea out there, eh? Yeah, thought it was the sea.
Like Firk, Ireland.
And so that thing stood on it didn't stand, obviously. It was laying on the corner of the boat for probably 20 minutes while big guy wrestled his for probably 45 minutes.
So you got yours in there first. Big guy still competing on his.
Then we get his in there. We do the same thing to that. Then we took the photo with the family. And then we put it in these big cooler bags, like these massive cooler bags.
But do you chop them up at all at that time, or just throw them in the cooler bag?
No, you got to gut it and get the fish guts out. Yeah. You do that, and then I mean this crew. By the way, these crew badass dudes.
Yeah,
for 4 guys. I mean, from tying knots to getting rods out to making sure everyone was no tangling up. These guys were badass, and then you kind of got to see how it all, you know, plays out after. It's not just about fishing; it's how to, you know, properly do this, store the fish, clean the fish, gut the fish.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be for some good eating.
I was hoping you're gonna mount it right here in the fucking studio, right behind you. I said, if you catch something big, you're mounting the studio. You said, yeah. Now you're slicing it up.
I don't know how you do that. Well, how do you
do that?
Cut it up?
Taxidermy, I guess. Like,
you stuff
it's a fucking pretty big fucking fish.
I know, it would look sick behind you. hey, Hall, we're gonna fucking throw a big old. It was a bluefin.
Bluefin tuna, man. How about 180 pounds?
How about a little fucking spicy, crispy rice, spicy tuna?
Yeah.
A little mayo on that baby, eh?
Yeah. A little wasabi, little sesame seeds. I think we're gonna make some poke.
Yeah.
Right?
A little poke bowl?
For sure.
So you're gonna go pick it up today, or they get it all diced and ready for you?
They're diced it up. They've kept it on ice. Yeah. I told them I want some of the fresh stuff to eat today, and then put a couple things on freezer. I got to bring Al some because Al's been generous. He's a big fisher, right? Our boy here, Al Hall. He's brought me some fish when he catches it, so I'm gonna bring Al some fish. You guys some fish.
I've ever told you I don't like deep sea fishing.
You have seasick? Or?
Well, so it's like my first year in Tampa. Season ends. We talk about year-end benders a lot. I go out and get just tuned up for 2 or 3 nights. Show up to this boat. I'm thinking, here we go. Fucking right. Say shirt off. I'm like, this is gonna be sick. Hat on background.
How hungover were you?
I was still drunk.
Yeah.
I'm like, here we fucking go, boys. Here we go, boys. Hey, you gotta get out there. I'm like, shirt off, throw a fucking big chew, a skull mitt back in the day. I'm like, how far are we going here? Where we go? Now I can't see land, and now it just turns on me.
How big's a boat?
Not as big as that boat, but it was a pretty big boat. Yeah. Like you could go down underneath, and there's a bed and everything. If you the workbench if you needed it. Like, and it turns on me, buddy. And it is 8 hours of down underneath, fetal position, puke in, and I've just really never had the desire to get back out there.
Yeah, and that's a man who knows. Man. That's a man who just knows his boundaries. That's a long fucking day, I guess. Max, what's the thing on these new boats? It spins. It's a big heavy ball that just spins and it keeps the balance of the boat.
I got no idea.
Well, it's a game changer. It's probably been around, I don't know how many years, but if you have one of these balls, it's fucking super expensive, but it balances the boat out. It spins at like 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it just keeps the boat like. Whew,
what do you mean, like
steady.
A turn, or just keeps it steady?
Yeah, it's like it's something in the ass of the boat. You can't see it, but it's a ball. It can't be no bigger than like this computer.
So, like on a scale of 1 to whatever 10, let's say, how bumpy was it out there? Was there points where you're like?
There were points. It was like 8.
Holy fuck! What did you do then? Where'd you piss? Over the side, or where'd you go?
No, it was a bathroom.
Yeah.
No, and actually
pissed down there every time.
I had a couple glasses of wine, but we weren't drinking.
No,
we were just out there having fun.
Did you get baked?
Microdose, just enjoying the day.
Yeah, this guy can do her all, boys. He can do her all. He's fucking catching tuna.
And then just to touch on my little son's first birthday, by the way. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for the bottle of wine that almost broke when you gave it.
Fuck, I know you almost dropped the full ball of Camus.
But
slippery. I just handed it to you.
My stud boy turned 1. He was a little pilot. He loves airplanes, so he had on the full airplane hat with the goggles. And the planes fly over our house all the time. So whenever he hears one, he's like, plane.
Yeah, cute kid, man.
But yeah, his first birthday, man, it goes by fast.
No kidding.
He's almost walking. It's pretty cool.
He's a cute kid. I wanted to talk to you. Last thing about Uppy's World 2 here was the U.S. Open tennis, man.
Oh,
I loved it. I watched a lot of it over the course of 2 weeks. First of all, you want to talk about athletes, man. Phenomenal athletes. And, we talk about 50 years of equal pay in women's tennis and women and men's tennis. And this isn't a shot at any other women's sport, but I mean, women tennis players, man, they deserve equal pay. They are just as fun to watch as men. The rallies, the intensity, the condition they're in. So when I saw 50 years of equal pay to them, I think well-deserved. I thought the tournament was unbelievable. My girl Sablanka lost in the final to Coco Gauff. Congrats to Coco. And then the men's, man, these guys were just snapping it. Like that Shelton served at 140 miles an hour. Yeah. And then your boy Joker got it done. But the whole U.S. Open, the atmosphere, I'm going next year, I think. I'm going. I've never been.
Yeah, I'm all in on tennis right now. Not that I'm playing, but I love watching tennis. I think Alcaraz is a special human being. I think he's one of the best athletes in the world, and we're only getting to see like the beginning of him. That's Shelton, you're right.
Until Medvedev.
I know, 19, 20 years. By the way, I want to touch on this Medvedev. He's a buttoned-up guy. Like the way he handles his personality, the way he handles losing. He's won the U.S. Open before. Djokovic has his number. And then just to touch on the Joker, like the guy to me is he's a beast.
I'll tell you what, he gets
the
celebrities that were at that final match because he was in on it. I mean, McConaughey was sitting in his box, like we touched on, but there were so many. Leo was there.
Yeah.
A typical Leo, just sitting in the back with his fucking hat on and shades. I'm like, this
calm, cool, collective. For the guys who watched that, the second set was insane. Like he could have been done and out so many times, and he battled back. He looked like he was done. His legs looked like they were tired.
Like he was 36 years old at that point.
But then his mind took over. It never did he let himself like fall out of like his being in the moment for longer than like a couple games, a couple points. And what that shows athletes or kids or whatever is like you're gonna lose focus. You're gonna have a bad play. You're gonna fall down. You're gonna do this. But the sooner you can get back to being in the zone that's what makes you great.
Yeah.
And then this guy owns it, man. And he talked about Kobe being a huge influence on him and why he wears 24 on his shoes and all this stuff. And then just what the Joker has been through. Like this is the first time he's allowed to play in the U.S. Open in a couple of years, like coming into the country because he wasn't vaccinated, and he comes in and just proves that he like is fucking the best.
He is the best, man. He's crazy.
It's pretty awesome. 24 Grand Slams is wild to think.
Sick t-shirt that he made, the 24 Mamba. Whoever designed that one for him, if you want to do some Missin Curfew stuff for us, that shirt was sick.
He ain't slowing down. 24 Grand Slams. He can get to 30. He's going to get 30 Grand Slams. This kid is...
Alcaraz,
I call him a kid. He's fucking...
He's 36, Joker.
He's not slowing down. He's fucking... We'll call it intimidation factor, too. One-on-one with the Joker is like, you got to...
Yeah.
He's not slowing down. He takes care of his body. He travels. You talk about my hyperbaric chamber I got in the garage. He owns the same brand. He keeps them in all continents, and he travels with them. So he takes care of his body. He's preventing his age from being 36. Although he is 36, he's probably like living like a 32-year-old. We haven't seen the end of this guy.
We definitely haven't seen the end of him. But I mean, Alcaraz is going to have a little something to say about him getting 6 more. You think he's going to get 6 more Grand Slams?
What do you think?
I think Alcaraz is saying, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, he's coming. Alcaraz is coming.
Yeah. I want to say
fucking
the chase reviews. All right, I get technology, right?
Yeah.
The electric, there's no more. Even they just show the close call.
Yeah.
And it's probably the right way to do it. But like, I miss the days of arguing a fucking call, though. No, right? Like Johnny Mac's got to be sitting up there in the ESPN booth going, like,
I hear you, man.
I wouldn't get like, fuck you, that wasn't out, right? What are you talking about? Right? But there's no argument anymore. Like, it speeds up the game. I like that because sometimes tennis, not to me, I love watching it, but is that
what can you really argue about in tennis, I guess?
Nothing. I think a high-stakes pickleball match between you and Johnny Mac would just be must-see TV.
Thanks, Maxie. But yeah, I miss the arguments of like, fuck you,
what can you really say to the ref anymore? Just to kind of,
nothing.
Your girl had a little snap show, right?
Like
semis.
She went and just broke a racket in the back. She went back to take a leak and came out and just smashed her racket. Yeah. Nice. She hits the ball hard, man.
Yeah.
I love watching her play tennis. How she came back in that semifinal against was it Graves? What was the female girl's name? Not Graves. It was Keys. he's had her on the ropes. 5-3, match point, game set, and she fought back, kicked her ass the tiebreaker. Like, these women, they impress me so much. But I don't know if I love the electronics ups. I know I'm not going to change it, but I miss a good old fashioned throw the racket, yell at the fucking. Do they even need the person up there anymore? What are they called? The judge, or what are they called?
Yeah, line judge.
No, that's not.
He's
line
the
judge.
chair judge.
Chair judge.
Call the chair, I think.
Do they need them just?
I
to say,
just made that up.
Just to say, 15-30. That's all they do. Dude,
let first
advantage, Djokovic. And then another thing is, like, the fans are getting fired up, and the players.
Quiet, please.
One thing what the players said about U.S. Open is the atmosphere. I get it. We don't want them yelling when they're going to hit the ball, but like some of these chair judges, if that's what they're called or whatever, they're all over the fans right away.
Yeah.
Give them a couple seconds to hoot and holler. The players love it. Like, quiet, please. Please, quiet. No.
I read an article saying that the new drink that they were serving at the U.S. Open this year was getting everyone just pinned.
Good.
And so all the fucking people in there, the spectators, were getting a little rowdy.
Like, it's you got to know when. Listen, if they're about to throw it up, but like right away they're like, quiet, please. Like after a big shot, like, come on, let them cheer a little bit, and then. But I guess if you give them an inch, maybe they'll take.
It's always been a very classy sport.
What do the ball girls and boys get paid? Are they volunteer? Because I'd like to put an Apple Watch on them. They're fucking digging around. What do you think? Is that a volunteer job or?
That's they're probably the local tennis club kids, right? They're probably all like tennis players.
Yeah.
Getting a chance to do that. I mean, what a gig to see that.
Jimmy Butler doing some stuff out there with it, like training to be a ball boy.
Oh, he was? Yeah. Well, that was what's cool about the U.S. Open is leading up to it. They had all these celebs playing like little, celeb 2-on-2 games, and they were all mic'd up. Like I saw Alcaraz playing Butler, and they each had a microphone on, and they were like talking to the crowd during the game. So it's a nice way to kind of implement some little fan experience.
I'm just saying, if you're a ball girl or ball boy,
Yeah.
you can't take a shift off. You got to be paying attention. I mean, you got to be hustling back to your spot, on your knees, up over, bang, bang, ball to them. And let me ask you something. Like, what are they looking at with the fucking balls? All right?
I'll tell you.
No, Alcaraz, I got a little pet peeve about Alcaraz. You don't need to look at 4 fucking nuggets. Well, what's the difference? You're going to say one's got more hair on it or something?
Yeah, so it's funny, but that's what they do. When you play pickleball, do you care like if one bounces or
Fuck
not?
no. Unless if the ball is broke, we get rid of it. Other than that, I'm fucking ready to serve.
Yeah, so he's looking at these balls because he knows, I can only pick 2. Hey, you're a guy, you only have two balls. And he goes, I want the one that has the least amount of hair, so the one that's been roughed up the most. I want that to serve first because it's going to go faster. And then I want the hairy one, hairy done. I want that one to be my spinny second serve so I can get the most hair on the racket, make it spin. Gotcha. And then the other one, get the fuck out of here. He throws the other one in the corner.
So how long, like I felt like Meatball, the changeovers were how long? Like how long did they play a full set with the balls and changeover?
Oh, they do 19 games.
19 games, okay. Yeah.
It's something like 16 games in the first set.
Right. That felt right. That's about when they would sit down and do a little changeover and get some new nuggets in there.
Yeah. It starts off like 16 and then goes to 19. I looked this up because it was funny.
That feels right from just watching.
Yeah.
That feels right. But congrats to both the winners. It was unbelievable. And speaking of unbelievable, Updog, the DraftKings app. We talked about being in the state of Colorado. Great state. We could use the DraftKings app. Listen, if you live in a state in the USA or you're in Ontario and you're not using the DraftKings app and you're still using some degenerate bookie, come on, give your head a shake. I mean, the bet, like, you can bet on every point. You can bet on the live betting is way easier than any other site. You can leave comments on there. You can chirp other people betting your stuff. So I guess what I'm saying is get out there, get the DraftKings app because Updog, you would agree, it's so clean, it's so smooth, and I feel like there's more of an advantage to betting on that than with your degenerate bookie. I don't know.
Yeah. I also, there's something to say about like missing the game, the start of the game and not being able to bet it.
Yeah.
Where, by the way, you're right about the live betting is like, say you do want to just see how this game starts.
Get a feel.
Yeah. Like all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers blows his Achilles. You're like, okay, the line.
Yeah. I would have changed the Buffalo right.
You could change. It's like, let me see the first play of the game and see how it's going to, see the atmosphere out there and then make your decision on the bet.
Yeah.
You kind of, it's, and I just, I sit there and kind of think, okay, what do I want? Then boom, kickoff starts. I'm like, shoot, I wish I had the DraftKings app for that live bet. Totally. So anyway, that's one thing. But you're right. Just the way the software works, the way the algorithms are, it's fast, it's quick. Bet responsibly.
Bet responsibly, promo code Curfew Kings. Hey, the Jets Super Bowl odds went from like what? They were like, now they're like 35-1 or something. But if you're the Jets, what do you go? Maybe go get like a You go get like a Jameis Winston. You know,
Tom Brady.
Cam Newton. What's Cam Newton doing? I mean, they don't need. I love Aaron Rodgers, but the way their defense looked and the way they can run the Nugget, they don't need fucking like.
No.
They went 16-1 to 35-1.
Yeah. Thanks, Max.
Matt Ryan. He's done.
Matty Ice.
Is he done?
I think Matty Ice is probably done.
Yeah. Has he been working out?
What about Brady? Imagine Brady just said, but he owns part of the Vegas Raiders now, so I don't know if an owner could play for another team. Is that allowed? He'd probably have to sell his shares in the fucking Vegas team, but
Unless he bought him under an LLC.
imagine Brady.
Phillip
Rivers. He's got 10 kids.
Yeah.
He's got more on his plate than the Updog.
He needs the paychecks.
That you may be right about that. He's like, God. Updog, you want to talk a little hockey here, fella?
Sure.
50 minutes in here, we haven't talked anything about hockey.
Well, the season hasn't started yet.
The season hasn't started yet. The boys are back at camp.
Yeah.
I was talking to Killer. I was like, hey, how's those skates? He's like, yeah, get in there, get a little skate. A veteran guy. I'm like, don't overdo it early in the camp.
No, for sure.
Back up the Brinks truck presented by our good friends at Life Force. Listen, we talked to a doctor in Aspen, and one thing he said is how important it is to get your blood drawn quarterly. He gave us like 4 keys to getting ahead of the curve of cancer and all this stuff, and blood work was one of them. He said, get your blood work done 4 times a year. Life Force, I'm about to get mine done again. I've been slipping on it, but Updog, it's important, man. Me and you were sitting there looking through all of our stuff, going over it with this doctor. So get on, check it out. Use the promo code Curfew. But Life Force, man,
the biomarkers that they check are ones that they're crucial. They're crucial to see. You want to monitor these. Life Force is every quarter they check your blood and compare it to how you're progressing. And for you and me in our 40s now, it's important.
Well, you're not there yet, fella. You're getting there.
I got a couple weeks, bud. A couple weeks, and then I'll be. What do they say?
Trying to figure out what to do for you.
Over the hill or on top of the mountain?
Pain in my ass. To be honest with you.
Are we over the hill or on top of the mountain?
We're over the fucking hill.
I don't think.
Give me a kick. Give me a kick down the mountain.
We'll see how this pans out in the next couple of weeks. But I think we're on top of the mountain. But
did you feel like you're on top of the mountain this morning, or? I'll tell you what.
No, not when the guys roofers came over and said you need a whole new roof. I'm like, oh God.
You're like, let me just put a little duct tape on it.
Maybe I should send the bill to the guys I bought my house from.
Did you know you spell duct tape D-U-C-T? Did you know that?
That's duct.
It's duct. I always thought it was duct tape.
Yeah.
It's duct. Hey, did you know that? Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
Did you know that? Yeah, I guess I'm the only fucking idiot that didn't know that.
I don't know.
I thought it was throw a little duct tape on it.
Yeah.
It's duct. It's duct.
When did you have to go buy some duct tape?
No, listen, Berard and Loops, you're on this. They showed this guy from, I don't know what fucking league it was, but he had duct tape around his fucking ankles to fucking here. And Loops spelled the D-U-C-T, and I was like, fucking Loops. I should have known the guy's.
Yeah.
I want him to start blogging for Missin Curfew, but I don't think we can afford him. Great writer, great texter.
Yeah.
He's a better writer, I think he is sometimes, than maybe
speaker.
Yeah, thank you. I'm like, he's wrong. So I went back, said duct tape, and then Berard spelled it the same way. And I was like, maybe I'm wrong. And sure enough, I was wrong.
What guy was he taping around his ankles for hockey?
Buddy, you look at this. This guy was standing in front of the net.
Was it like white or colored duct tape?
It was fucking duct.
I think duct tape is more expensive than athletic tape.
Look at this fucking guy's duct tape around his fucking ankles up.
Oh, wow. That's a professional game, too.
I don't know how professional it is, but yeah, they may be getting paid. But look at that duct tape on there, bud. I don't know what league it is. Tag it, buddy. Francis Lassard. That was a tough guy back in the day. Wasn't it?
That's
a lot of duct tape. So you knew that. Did you know that? Don't lie to me, man. You're my guy.
Duct tape. I did, but it would have taken a minute to unless I, spell check this thing and go, what the?
I always thought it was duct tape. Give me the old duct tape.
Thank God we clarified that.
Let's clarify something here. Back up the Brinks truck presented by Life Force. Jake Sanderson, listen, I want everyone to get paid. I want everyone to make as much money as you can because you're going to be sitting here like me and the Updog. I'm 40. He's about to be 40. He's complaining about his roof caving and he wishes he had made a few more scratches. But 8 years, 64.5 bananas. He's played 77 NHL games, Updog. He's got 4 goals for 32 points. I think he is going to be good. And maybe the cap's going to go up and they're thinking this will be a steal. But the old school guy in me, the Ottawa Senators, a lot of pressure on these kids now. I love their captain, Brady Tkachuk. I hope Sanderson turns out to be the player he is. But 64 bananas to me, I don't know, man. 77 games played. I don't know. We'll see how it pans out, but that's a lot of dough.
Count his goals on one hand. 4 goals. What stands out to me is this guy now, as of next year, will be making as much or just a little bit less than Cale Makar.
Wow.
That's wild. The philosophy behind this stuff, I just don't get. Who's got the crystal ball, really? Right? Like, what are these people thinking, that the cap goes up tremendously in the next 4 or 5 years?
Do hockey players sit at a camp like football or basketball or any of that?
Huh?
Do hockey players sit out of camp like any of the NFL or NBA guys?
Do they hold out?
Like hold out?
There's always threats they do. Yes.
Zegers is on his way to holding out here. Zegers is on our RFA, doesn't have a deal, so Zegers
right.
maybe hold out. The last big holdout, Max, to answer your question,
Nylander?
was William Nylander. He went down to the very last day. So the way it works in the NHL is you have till like December something, and then if he doesn't sign by then, he's done for the year.
Yeah.
Can't play. So yeah, Max, there has been a few guys sit out, but not like
like
football.
the NFL where it's like every year there's a handful of guys that are sitting at a camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of guys don't have much bargaining power, and like, the proof is in kind of the stats or the pudding here, where their stats, if they're the same as other guys, like arbitration just usually gives them, the set price, and it's take it or leave it type deal. But in this case, this kid is a third year player.
Yeah, first round pick. It says dad's Derek Sanderson used to play. I think you might have played against. You played against everyone.
First he got traded for Loops.
Derek Sanderson.
Yeah, we traded him from Philly to Edmonton for Loops, and Yoni Pitkinen. It was for Jeff Sanderson.
Jeff Sanderson. Yeah, not Derek Sanderson. My bad. Jeff Sanderson.
Jeff Sanderson's kid. Wow.
So listen, I'm happy for this kid. Fucking enjoy his fun.
Edmonton.
Treat yourself to a nice cottage. No, he's American. He plays for he's American-born kid.
Oh, so while he was playing in the U.S.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's put it in perspective. Cale Makar makes 9 bananas. This guy's making 8. Pietrangelo is making $8.8 million.
That's crazy.
For the next 4 years.
Yeah.
Now, Sanderson's not even in the same ballpark as this guy. Like, what's wrong with a 3-year deal at $5 million a year? And if he does prove you wrong, then you say, hey, okay, buddy, fine. All right, the cap went up. It cost us, instead of, now he's 8, now he's making maybe 10. But I think if he's only on a 3-year deal, I don't know. I just question their develop. Is he going to be as hungry to develop? I don't know.
Pull up. You got this Ottawa Senators up, the cap friendly stuff?
I do.
Well, how many guys in their top 5 now are making all the money? Brady?
It's funny you say that. So there was a thing that, the Leafs get a lot of heat about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now basically Stützle,
Brady
Tkachuk, I guess Batherson you want to throw in there.
Oh, no. He's a first year. No, go to
Shabbat.
the Shabbat. How much is he making?
8.
See, so 8. Yeah.
Sanderson 8.
Yeah.
Chikrin 4.6.
That's not bad.
But basically in Stützle, Tkachuk, Shabbat, Sanderson, and one more guy. I think they counted Batherson. I think that's who they counted. They got $42 million tied up or something like that, or $43 million tied up.
Yeah, and basically not even one full line.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, Pierre Dorian, gave all these boys, I don't know. We'll see how it plans out. And like I said, Updog, I'm happy for him. I just, as an old player, ex-player sitting here, I don't know. It just seems to give these guys that much is a lot of money. So I know this is old news, fellas, but we haven't been in the studio. We've been out there just enjoying the finer things of the National League. Auston Matthews, I was wrong. I said he was going to L.A. They did trade every guy in L.A. I thought they were going to trade, but they traded him to Winnipeg for Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Yeah, when that happened, I was like, okay, that's not,
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man, Brad Treliving, I would love to get Brad on here. Maybe you can reach out to Brad. I would love to get this guy on here because what he's come in here and done under the gun, I don't know if him and Matthews, when he went out to Scottsdale to meet with Matthews might have said, the old Jerry Maguire, my word is salt as oak. But he rolled the dice, 4 years, 53 bananas, 13.5. It's a great deal for Matthews. It's a great deal for the Leafs. I don't know. I guess he was true, Updog, and loved it, but I was shocked that I thought he'd want to go play in the States. I mean, the Leafs are ready to rock, my man.
I think 4 years puts him into 31 years old. I think it's a perfect deal for him. It's a perfect deal for both sides and for the people. He deserves to make the most money in the league now. Coming up every time you come up to free agency, which is why you got to give him credit for what he did last time. 3-year deal or 4-year deal again. Every time you step up to the plate as the top guy, you're going to get paid. So the deal fits for me. I think Connor McDavid, McKinnon now. These guys all making the top money. They're all the best players in the league. They're all the young guys that are going to carry this league in the next generation. He deserves it. And I think Toronto's in a spot where it's still do or die, but they're not giving a guy 8 years. Like if they gave him 8 years and it doesn't work out, they just get you get screwed. So this works for me for both.
Yeah, I agree. I think Brad Treliving has done a hell of a job here. Listen, they got him for 5 years, right? He's got 1 year left at 11.6 on his last deal. John Tavares, guy plays his balls off. He's got 2 years left at 11. He's going to come off the books in 2 years. What is Brad going to do with William Nylander, right? That, to me, is Brad's next big move. I guess he's not in a hurry, right? He's got him locked up for this year. Then he is UFA. Can maybe make a deal at the deadline. Maybe gets a deal done. But to me, and I think William Nylander's a good player, I still think the Leafs still need a big right-handed D-man of some sort. I like the Klingberg signing. He's not the answer to like the long term,
because the playoff time is battles. It's you need big, strong Pietrangelo type players, the guys that like eat the minutes, win the puck battles.
Exactly,
that's how you win hockey games. The playoffs.
I guess I'm saying is in 2 years the cap's supposed to go up, $5 million or whatever. If the Leafs decide to let Tavares leave, there's $11 million coming off the books. I don't know. I think Brad, for a guy who was taking on something that was like, holy shit, can now sit back because of this Matthews deal and be like, all right, I got my guy signed. We got Marner signed.
Kept the coach.
I got my guy, kept his coach. And the cap's going to go up. And in 2 years, you got Tavares coming off the books at 11 bananas. I don't know, man. Brad, this guy seems to know what's up.
I know. Well, it didn't quite work out in Calgary the way
I know.
But, I mean, things aren't perfect in Calgary for other reasons than just personnel. Maybe it's not personnel. Maybe it's the rink. Maybe it's a few other things. Yeah. But listen, I like Brad Treliving. I had him as assistant GM in Phoenix. Guys buttoned up. He's smart, well respected. I think the players are going to play hard for him.
Yeah, I'll never forget when he called me. I was in Cabo with you coming back from Cabo. I'm like, fuck up, dog. Maybe I didn't get bought out here. Landon, John Wayne, I got like 10 missed calls. Call Brad back, and he's like, you know what, Obie, I liked you in Phoenix. I liked you here and there. But as much as you hate Bob Hartley, he hates you just as much. And, we're going to buy you out. I'm like, yeah, I figured as much. But I bumped into him in the elevator at the Battle of Alberta. And he was like, hey, how's Up Dog doing? I said, good. He said, I noticed you guys are doing. Keep it up. So I think Brad's done a great job to Matthews. That's a lot of bananas. Now it goes Matthews, McKinnon, McDavid, Panarin, Carlson. These guys are making some fucking bread, Up Dog.
Yeah, it's good to see. Maybe one of them wants to cover the cost of my roof.
I think they might. I think if you text Drew Downey, he might. I just wanted to parlay back up the Brinks truck, and I got to give credit. Alan Walsh is the guy who tweeted this. Like him, hate him, love him. I don't know the fucking guy. One thing I will say is he's not scared to speak his mind.
No, you're right.
He's probably not a huge Bettman fan. But look, if you look at these revenues by the league, National Football League, $16 billion, Major League Baseball, $10 billion, NBA, $8 billion, National Hockey League, $5 billion in revenue. And then you look at the highest paid guys in each league. Burrow in the NFL, 55, Scherzer, 43, Steph Curry, 51, Matthews, 13. I get it. In basketball, there's only 12 players. I get it. Their TV deal is better. I get it. The Canadian dollar. I get all that. But to me, Up Dog, that to me screams luxury tax, man. If I'm a player, I hate the hard cap when it came in. I still hate the hard cap. When I look at those numbers, if you're an Auston Matthews, a Connor McDavid, a Nathan McKinnon, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I just think this hard cap's got to go. It's luxury tax city, but I don't know if it'll ever happen under Bettman.
Well, you got to think it's something that's going to be addressed with our new PA leadership, with our new
Marty Walsh.
This is something that you want to see these guys creep up into the top paid athletes in the world, because they are some of the best, most gifted athletes in the world. And our game is a beautiful sport. We need to find ways to continue to grow it. World Cup being one, playing overseas two, getting back in the Olympics. All these things need to happen, but inching up, revenues continue to grow. They got to find ways. The league has to find ways to implement. Okay, you want to have a couple extra $1 million to spend? Share it with the bottom guys, but find a way to pay these players. Find a way to get them.
And if I'm the owner, if I'm Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment, or I'm the owner of the Rangers, who owns the Rangers? Is Dolan or whoever owns the Rangers?
James Dolan.
And it comes to trade deadline, and they say, hey, you can't go out and get, there's ways around it. Drury did this with Kane, but I'm just thinking, like, if I'm owners of these big boy teams too, why wouldn't I want a luxury tax? I'm trying to win a Stanley Cup. I make more money than you. That's the fucking way of the world, Up Dog. I was joking about not being able to afford to live in Aspen. I accept that. I can't afford it. Fuck Columbus Blue Jackets. Sorry, you can't afford to have the payroll of Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
That's life. So to me, I've never been a huge fan of the hard cap. Like, when you look at the NBA making $8 billion in revenue and the NHL made $5 billion, like, does that not surprise you that it's only $3 billion more to the NBA? Is that because they're paying their guys so much though? Like, if you looked at it from the owner's perspective of the NBA, they're like, we're paying our guys too much. They're bleeding us dry, right?
I mean, what Princey's got here is a list of revenue. I mean, if it's revenue, it's money brought in to the company, and it's not considering money spent.
That's just money in their pocket.
Yeah, so we got to figure that if they are paying the Kevin Durant's $50 million, Steph Curry's $50 million, that these guys, there's a way to mix in, you know, so an NHL player's making $15 million. And that the next best guy's making 10.
I'm saying that fucking McDavid and Matthews and the boys
making 15, 20 bananas. Yeah.
20 mil. That's what I think those boys should be making.
Totally.
20 fucking
going on vacations with the boys.
Like, listen, 12's good, but and people are going to be like, oh, these fucking guys, they made millions playing. And we're lucky, but remember, tax cut in half, agency, can't play forever. Like, we're very lucky to make the money we've made playing hockey. But at the same time, these guys are elite athletes. You're telling me Connor McDavid is not as elite athlete as Steph Curry?
Yeah.
Of course she is.
No, I know.
Like, I just think where there's smoke, there's fire, and Alan Walsh dug this up. Think about what you want of him. I don't know, Updog. If I was a big boy in the NHL, I'd be talking to Marty Walsh and being like, I don't know, man. Not that math was ever my best subject, Updog.
That's okay.
Those numbers
doesn't have to be, but
those numbers to me kind of look like, you know,
they look a little fabricated, don't they?
They look like there might be.
We're hiding a few bucks in the back of his pocket.
Strike, eh? Strike. I say strike.
Come on, boys. There's only one option here.
Strike, boys. We'll make a Missin Curfew league, boys. We'll get paid blue lights. Come on. Totally. Our boy Rick Tocchet, he kind of teased this up for us.
He did.
At the end of the season. I'm a former Canuck. You had a little cup of coffee there. You know what it's like to be in that dressing room. Quinn Hughes is named the captain.
Like this kid.
When Rick Tocchet said the way he said about him at the end of the year, to me, it was a no-brainer. I love that they named him right away, right before camp starts. Get it out of the way. This is our captain. Let's fucking go. I believe in Rick Tocchet. I believe in Quinn Hughes just because of what Talk said. And I love that they have a captain. And I think he's going to embrace it, man. I'm happy for him.
Listen, this kid, he's a born leader, Obes. I met his old man in Nashville. His dad has taught these kids how to play hockey, how to be good friends, good teammates, good brothers. After hearing Talk speak just about the surprise, right? The surprise and the leadership qualities this kid carries. Yeah. Just how good he is in practice, off the ice, on the ice. To me, he's a buttoned-up kid. He's been in the league now probably 6 years. He's right for the job. And he's got a lot on his shoulders, right? And there's a lot of demand. You know this in Vancouver. Fans demand a lot. They need to just bounce back, have a great year. They do. They need to get back on the right path. There's a lot on his shoulders, but congrats to him. It's an honor to wear the C in the NHL, especially for a Canadian team, and good for him.
It's a great point by you when you brought up the media and something that I didn't even think of. His day-to-day stuff just changed a lot in Vancouver. Yeah, he's got to talk every morning at practice, every morning skate, after every game, and when shit hits the fan, they're going to come to him right away. So obviously Toxic, he can handle it. They got him, they went out and got Carson Soucy, who I think is going to probably start with Quinn Hughes. Big body. I love this Quinn Hughes game.
Yep.
He's gotten better defensively. He's gotten better on the PK. I love it, but it's a great point by you. The media, treat him with kindness. That's all.
Yeah.
Be good to him.
Beat him with kindness.
Be good to him. But, good luck to Talks to the boys up there. Last but not least, here up, dog. The NHL and NHL PA announced finally. I know this is old too, but we haven't been in the studio. That there's going to be a World Cup in February 2025. Thank feck. Projected squads here. Listen, I know we're Canadian lads, fella, but I look at these teams here and USA versus Canada. First thing I think of when I look at Canada is who the fuck is going to play goalie for us? Look at those guys. Skinner, Kemper, I love you, Binner, but I mean, I don't know. Do we have a tendy?
Not yet. It's up for grabs.
Do we have a tendy?
You got any pads?
We have a tendy?
Fire some pads on, bud. You got a couple of years.
And when I look at Team USA, I mean, obviously Tkachuk's, Matthews, Hughes, Eichel, Kyle Connor, and then to me, their back end. This is where, listen, we got McDavid, we got McKinnon, we got Crosby. I'm not saying we still got the best players on the planet. But when you look at their back end of projected Quinn Hughes, Adam Fox, Slavin, McAvoy, Werenski, thank you, and Trouba.
Yep.
To me, that's a pretty decent back end there, man. And I I'm not saying Canada's isn't good, but to me, that's a pretty good back end.
I mean, I just look at Cale Makar though, and I'm like, God, he's a nice addition to have.
Listen, I sort of cut you off, but I sent these teams to loops. I said, who wins? He said, the guy who's got the team that's got number 97 on it. And at the end of the day, but with the goaltenders that we have, and it's no disrespect to the guys, they're in the league, but McDavid may have to get 5 points a night if I just never thought Canada would be in this position come goaltending.
I want to just watch both of these teams play right now.
I know.
Why can't we?
We should have just a little North American Cup.
This is epic. I would see some of these names. I mean, Hyman, to me, that's a wow.
Our boy Clayton Keller's on there.
I know Zach Hyman, like maybe projected with Connor McDavid and Mitch Marner. That to me, I don't know. Let's fix that line. But let's fix that line.
You don't like Hyman on there, do you?
I mean, he's a great player, two-way player, but fire him down on the fourth line, no?
This guy, this is via Sportsnet. These guys got Bedard on the third line with Crosby and Marchand. Is Bedard on the team?
Yeah, you're just going to put him on there to see 3 generations of
he's an extra guy.
Of Sid, McDavid, and Bedard. That's 3 generations right there, probably of 30 years, basically, right? Like, boom.
Yeah, I'll tell you this.
20.
We got other forwards. I'll tell you what, Matthew Barzal to me is a guy that if I had any say in the team, I would be giving him a real good look.
So Brandon Montour, he'd be on my squad.
Monty,
yeah,
he's going to get a look. I mean, there's no Ryan O'Reilly. Got Dylan Cousins on here. I mean, listen, Team Canada has so many options, but it's exciting, Uppy.
Yep.
It's interesting. I mean, Team USA, they've come a long way. They got a great.
Would look sick.
I mean, fuck, I'm with you. I wish they could play right now.
I agree.
Listen, I'm gonna fucking put my money on Team Canada. I'm just saying, don't sleep on the USA squad.
I mean, we've seen these American kids hang out together. They got a good little chemistry going.
I'm going to say one thing too. Tom Wilson, I might have him on Team Canada for a little. Hey, Tom, you probably won't play every night, fella, but if when we play Team USA, you're in there and do your thing.
What do they got to lay on the line for guys like Tom Wilson to go out and try to like put guys through the wall? Like, is there money or is it?
Well, just for him to have the opportunity to play for Team Canada, the Olympics would be.
But like,
if you would have said that me and you were even having this conversation that Tom Wilson should be on Team Canada when he came to the league, we would have been like, no chance.
No, but you think like McDavid looks at Wilson and goes like, I want you to run I want you to run over Jack Hughes tonight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, will that be talked about, or is it just like, guys, let's go out there, move the puck, and like score more goals in them, and let's like, win this thing, or guys like, let's bury these guys.
I think you got to have Willie on there just for the old Kachuk brothers there. Keep the
see,
because Maddie and Brady are.
Those guys will just be. They'll be laughing out there.
They'll be loving it. I mean, you don't think Maddie and Brady are be licking their chops to get out there and do everything they can against McDavid? These
imagine it is.
Your boy Tage Thompson's on this team too. He's sick. Listen to these centers.
Imagine Binner's in net, and then you got Matty Tkachuk in front of him. Yeah, it'd be hilarious.
Like, this is via Bleacher Report.
Yeah,
just down the pipe: Matthews, Hughes, Eichel, Thompson. I would go Matthews, Eichel, then Hughes or Thompson, whatever you want. But that's 4 legit centers, man. And then you look at Canada: McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby. I'm going to put Ryan O'Reilly there as my 4th line center just because he's a fucking beauty. But
yeah,
I don't know, Ups. It's good for the game, man. I'm happy that they're doing it. I guess we got to wait till 25.
That kind of gets the hair on your arse standing up. Think about hockey like that again.
Fuck. I mean, it's been so long.
It's not regular season stuff. That's epic stuff.
This is going to be.
It's like playoff.
Winter Olympics, I guess is what they're saying. I don't know.
World Cup of Hockey.
World Cup of Hockey.
By year 2025.
2025.
It's around the corner.
I guess it's just around the corner.
We're still on the mountain, bud.
Speaking of something just around the corner, lunch is just around the corner, buddy, because I'm fucking starving. Maxie, fella, good to be back here. Studio looks great. Look at my hole-in-one fucking picture up, dog. Put it in for me, team guy.
Of course, buddy.
Tailor-made. The bags look sick. Uppy, your hair looks sick. Love you, buddy. It's almost hockey season. Always being fun in here, fella.
Let's go.
Missin Curfew.